So unfortunately, I didn't quite finish my tutorial in one video, the 5-minute screener. I've been going back and forth. I don't know if you noticed last week I had one video that was really long. It was like 20 minutes. And that's because I was using QuickTime. So somebody helped me out and told me that I can use QuickTime instead if I want to do longer videos, but I kind of like the short videos. As much as it's like a torture to not be able to finish the video in 5 minutes, I kind of like the fact that it's 5 minutes. And anyway, so aside from that, I wanted to just tell you that the lesson was saying that you can use the eraser to get rid of these lines, and what happens is if you don't set the layer lock to transparency, then you're gonna get what's you call it? It's going to erase the actual white of your layer, and you don't want to do that in this case. So I'm going to Control Z it again, and then make sure to press this little lock icon. Lock transparent pixels. So that means it will not be transparent. If I start erasing, it will fill it with the white color here. Oh, whoops. Okay, it's filling it with the background color, which is black. Okay, so I just need to make sure, Control Z, that if I hit D on my keyboard, it'll set the colors to default. So it always picks the background swatch here, set background color. So if my layer is set to lock transparency, then and I start erasing, automatically when it erases, it's filling it with this background swatch color, which is white. And that works perfectly in our case. But let me show you something. If I hide my curves layer, then you can see the white that's being painted on here. So I don't know if that's really the ideal way to adjust this. It's kind of like a quick fix. It works in this scenario. But what happens if I decide to change my curves? Let's see. If I go back in and I change my curves, I think you'll notice the white. Let's see. If I go adjust it back to the way it was. Yeah, now you're going to start seeing the white. So say I didn't like the way I adjusted my curves, then I started erasing parts of the background. I think it becomes really obvious here, especially here. So for that reason, I don't recommend it. It works as a quick fix, I guess. And I think they just wanted to show off what these different lock opportunities are for your layers. There's like 1, 2, 3 different locks, and then like the ultimate lock, which locks everything on that layer. But yeah, it's interesting. Let's see. And at this point, I wanted everyone to save. Oh yeah, so you just go around to finish it up. You can just go ahead and erase all of these parts, making sure it fills with white. But there are many ways to do the same thing. You could actually go ahead and make a new layer and paint white on a separate layer, and that way you can always throw it away if you wanted to adjust the curves again. For now, this is fine. Let's see. Oh yes, and I wanted to save it. I already saved it as a PSD, but if I go Control Shift S, that's the save as command. And so they wanted you to save it as telegram repair.psd, and I think that's a good idea. Save it as a PSD so you can adjust it later. And then I want you to save it again as a JPG for Blackboard to upload. So at the end of this lesson, there's going to be 7 different images, and you can leave it, you can title it the same names that they're titling it in the book, telegram repair.jpg, so I get that one, and then all the other ones. Just put them in a folder on your desktop, and then later you can save them to your hard drive or your flash drive. One thing I noticed is that if I save too many things on my desktop, which I like to do, I think I've made that really clear, is that I like to save things on my desktop, then it starts slowing down my computer's processing, because it's just, I'm starting to take up too much space on my computer. So it's nice to be able to transfer it to a hard drive. It's good to have several backup copies. I know some people who have at least 2 or 3 hard drives with the same information backed up, because you just never know. So that's just a little tidbit of information on saving. I save it to my desktop, and then I move it over to my flash drive after that. Okay?